Norma in Woodbridge, Illinois. You're on the air with Congressman Pocan.
Yes. Thank you for taking my call, Tom. And hi, Congressman Pocan.
Hi, Norma.
My call is about the meeting with Rob Rosenstein today. I don't see how Democrats can't be steaming and knocking on the door in terms of this meeting, which to reveal information from an investigation, that's illegal. And I don't see how the Democrats are inflamed right now.
And Norma and Congressman, I'd like to add a question to that too. And I just recently learned that Devin Nunes was part of the Trump transition team. I'm concerned, and maybe you don't want to address this as it's one of your colleagues, but I'm concerned that maybe his multiple attempts to sabotage this investigation have much less to do with protecting Trump and much more to do with finding out if he himself is looking at going to jail.
Yeah, I'll tell you, on Devin Nunes, let me answer that first, Tom. I mean, I have no problem talking about Devin Nunes because he's an embarrassment to this institution. He makes it harder for this to be a functioning place. I mean, at one point, the Intelligence Committee still kind of rode above some of the partisanship here. And all he did is he brought the swamp in the front door, and it's now that committee is a joke, and he has been as false a committee chair of that committee as anyone ever could be. So, you know, I'm hoping that people in California, even though it's a little bit stronger of a Republican district, realize this is a guy who needs to be thrown out because he's exactly what's wrong in Congress. Specifically to Norma's question, Norma, so I just found out, too, the Senate Republicans weren't invited to that meeting, and now they're trying to get in there. This is becoming a bad sitcom as far as, you know, the White House, it's, you know, the way they do this and who they invite. But I agree with you, Norma. I've been following a lot of social media this morning, and people are far more upset than I would argue Democratic leadership is, and they need to be far more outraged because this is, you know, while I don't want to be Russia, 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 because I think the economy and healthcare and so many other issues are really what people think about the most. In this particular case, you can't do this, and we need to have the Democratic leadership stand up far more on this. But it is interesting that the Senate Republicans themselves also are trying to get into this meeting. Again, just another day at the circus.
Yeah. Russ in Hickory Hills, Illinois, listening to WCPT. You're on the air with Congressman Pocan. Russ.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Pocan. I heard this morning that these guys, the Republicans, are going to rip out what's left of Dodd-Frank. I mean, there is going to be no oversight. If they got $50 trillion in bad loans, there'll be no publication about it. They're going to cover it up now. They're going to go back to before Obama when Bush was running the country, because they want nobody to know how bad the economy is going to get. Because I'll tell you something now, Mr. Pocan. They had a poll out today. Ronald McDonald's up 12 points over Donald Trump as long as he's got a D, because that's how bad they think of this guy. Have you heard about ripping up Dodd-Frank totally?
Yeah, well, I mean, this bill is a giant gutted hole to it, right? Because you've just made, of the 38 largest banks, now 25 of them are considered smaller banks and have had a bunch of regulations from, fair lending practices to all the other regulatory provisions and protections that were in place with Dodd-Frank are now gone because the limit went from $50 billion to $250 billion. That's 1/6 of all the banking economy. So it's a huge amount of money. It's some really, really big banks, and it's a huge problem, and it's going to be signed into law, I think, perhaps even today by the president. This is what could put us exactly back where we were pre-2008.
Keith in Portland, Oregon. We just have a minute to the break. Keith, got a real quick question for Congressman Pocan?
Yes, I just wanted to find out where exactly the House is on the passage for the preserving net neutrality.
Great question, Keith. So right now we have a discharge petition, which is a way to force a vote on it. We need to get 218 signatures. I think virtually every Democrat will be on. I would hope every single Democrat is on. The question is, how many Republicans can we get to that 218 number? But we need to have people call their member of the House of Representatives and demand they do this, because I know people called us when the decision happened, but now that we've got it through the Senate, this is where we can get it done now. you need to put pressure on your member of Congress and make sure that they support net neutrality, and they have to sign the discharge petition so we can take a vote on it.
And the phone number for that is 202-224-3121, 202-224-3121. And if you're not sure who your representative is, just give them your zip code and they'll connect you right to their office. Congressman Pocan is with us, Congressman Mark Pocan. It's Middays with Mark here on the Thom Hartmann Program. And we'll be back with more of your calls for Congressman Pocan. You can find his website at pocan.house.gov, and you can tweet him at Rep, as in Representative Rep Mark Pocan. We'll be right back.